today, man, we're going to shake it up a little bit. We're going to talk about something a little different than what we've been discussing. We're going to talk about IULs, Craig. You
Hmm.
down?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Let's talk about IUL. So here's the question. Are IULs for everyone? Now, what is an IUL for those who are new? Let's go back up. What's an IUL is an index universal life insurance policy. Okay. Index universal life policy. Okay. So for those who are familiar, cool. Those who aren't, look it up. We'll have other videos. But this particular policy, Craig, is an IUL for everyone.
It depends on your strategy, but the short answer is yes.
Okay. I like where you're going here. So, all right. I didn't know if you're going to say no or yes. Okay. So, yes, but it depends on your strategy.
That is also correct.
Okay.
There is a misconception that IULs are only for high income individuals.
Hmm.
That's not the case. It is attractive for high income individuals, typically who have already maxed out other tax advantage savings vehicles,
Right.
as the tax-free growth and income potential can be advantageous for those.
Hmm. Okay. So, all right. So let's talk about not the high level people. Let's talk about, middle class folks, regular hardworking people, and they want an IUL. Is an IUL for them?
Absolutely. You can use it for retirement income, estate planning, diversification, individuals seeking flexibility, those who want to protect against market losses, parents seeking to provide financial security for their children.
Okay. All right. So the overall arching point, I hear you speaking to me, friend. If I'm trying to digest all this,
Mhm.
right? You're saying, yes, it is for everyone, depending on the strategy. We heard you say that. So the way I compute that in my little brain here is, all right. So it's kind of like a Mustang, a Ford Mustang.
Mhm.
Okay. It's a fast car. Is a Mustang for everyone?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but is a Mustang a car? Can it get you from A to B?
Yes, it can.
Yes, it can get everyone to A to B.
Mhm.
Depending on how you use it, is going to determine if you make it there or not. If you make it to yourself, for instance, if you're a fast driver and you're like, all about speed and need for speed and all that, it's got you. You can do that. You can go A to B faster than anybody else. If you are a person say, you know what, I just need to get to the grocery store. I'm just trying to get to my doctor appointment. Hey, a Mustang would do that too. It'll get you where you need to go. Maybe you're not a fast driver, but you just like the way it looks and the way it feels, whatever it is. Maybe a Mustang is a bad example, but point is, you like a Mustang because of the way it looks, and maybe you always thought about having one. Maybe you say, you know what, I like speed every now and then. You know, yes, I'm gonna get A to B, but I like having a great date night car. Something that looks sharp on Friday, Saturday night. I'm feeling good going to church Sunday morning. And hey, will the Mustang work for you? That person? Yep, it'll work for you too. Now, if you're the A to B person who's like, you know what, I'm just trying to get to the grocery store. You probably don't want to adopt a mentality and think you have the ability. Maybe you're an older person, you're slowing down a little bit, and you're like, I like this car. I don't have a need for speed, but I'm gonna just try it out one time. I'm gonna try it one time, and then you hit the pedal to the metal, and it's like next thing you know, we got a problem. So the point is, it's like, what's your intent on using the IUL? How are you going to leverage it in its different styles, right, Craig? I love how you put that. So maybe that's a silly illustration, but that's how I see it. It's
It works for me because I mean, think about it. Even going to the grocery store. You have a family of four. You go to the grocery store in a Mustang. You're gonna get there really fast. But how much of them groceries from Sam's you gonna be able to fit in it? A Mustang,
exactly,
right?
dude. This is fantastic because that's exactly right. Or if you're a soccer mom, man, single dad, you got a bunch of kids, and you can't even fit two teenagers in that back seat at all.
That's
So
right.
maybe, but it is a good car for you to go to and from work. It all depends on the use of the vehicle, use of the IUL vehicle.
Mhm.
So if you're a high net worth individual, hey, we're looking at max funding and using it for this and leveraging for different maybe pulling cash out to buy assets and cash flowing assets and doing this and really maximize the growth, or you're saying, you know what, I just want to get something started because I really want to have a legacy protection, have some insurance. I do want the money to grow. I want the cash to be in there if I need something while I'm raising these kids, what I'm saying, whatever. Or you're like, hey, I just want an extra place to put some savings. It's protected, tax advantage. I would love to just put some extra savings money into that thing. Or it's so many different things. I think where we get off upside down and flip flop, man, is when we adopt like a commitment or strategy of someone that our pocket can't support. We adopt a strategy that our pocket can't support. Now, is that the client's problem? No.
Nope.
That's the writing agent's fault. Ooh, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Clients sometimes, they're clients and they're relying on the professionals to know these things. So I'm gonna get into the second part of this. Okay, well, why do some people not like IULs?
Well,
Is it because of the IUL or is it because of something else?
in a lot of cases, right? And you hear the IUL ops on social media talking about the agents itself. It's not so much about the mechanics of an IUL, it's the agents who sell them
Yes.
and the way that they structure and design the IULs.
Yes.
And typically in those cases, it's one-sided. The agent is looking strictly out for their commission, and they will sell you on, for instance, a level death benefit to maximize their commission.
It's like I'm on a car kick today, Craig. It's like going to a dealership and you go to a place and you meet the salesperson
Mm-hmm.
and he advises you to get this nice looking car. It's a used vehicle or whatever. He puts you in this thing. He knows that you probably want something else, but he's gonna put you in this one. It was actually a lemon, but he ain't gonna tell you that because he wants to put you in this pretty red car.
Mm-hmm.
And he ain't gonna tell you that under the hood is a hot mess. He ain't gonna tell you that, and he ain't gonna tell you also that he don't know how to fix it. so, but all he knows is that you like red, right? And you need a car.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also thinking about the bills he's got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So with the commission that he's going to get, if he sells you this lemon that he
Right.
don't know how to fix and doesn't know anything about it other than, hey, you know what? Let me put you in this thing. Let me go and put you in this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a lot of agents out there. Let me put you in. Don't have a clue of how it's designed, how if it's a lemon or not. They don't understand how to turn it from a lemon to a good quality vehicle. None of that. So my point is, I agree with you, man. Some people have developed a stank towards IULs, and it's not because cars suck or IULs suck. It's not because of that.
Right.
It's because of the person that put you in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And to that point, that person told you that he was selling you a 2020 or a 2025 Mustang, but you get home and realize you've got a red 74 rusted out Pinto.
Exactly. 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 But you didn't know. All you saw was red.
Red car, and it worked.
All you saw was red. So, what's crazy, man, I said this a while ago. I was like, I kind of wish that there was another certification that you had to acquire through the Department of Insurance in order to sell IULs. Like I kind of, to a degree, I wish to protect the industry, man, to protect the good name, great name of index universal life policies. There's a lot of people protecting term policies, which is great because they're great products. There's a lot of people protecting, PNC because why? Because they're great products. But it's like, but there's not a whole lot of people, agents messing those up. You go over to the IUL side, man, there's a crew of people messing these bad boys up because you go get your license, you go pass the test, and next week you're a professional advisor because your business card says so that you made on Canva, and, and all of a sudden, all of a sudden you start selling IULs to people, and you could barely spell IUL, let alone trying to sell what it is and design one the right way, and you put somebody with their hard-earned money into something that you can't even explain yourself.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's truly what it is. And I see all these different people on podcasts talking about whatever. It's like, man, come on, let's keep it. We all know what it is. I'm gonna pull the sheets back and look, and everybody gonna look at it. The reality is, most people who are licensed in insurance, honestly, they don't know everything about all insurance products. And there's people who go to IULs because it's they feel like it's a trend. It's not a trend. It's been around for a hot minute. But it's like, oh, I can help people. Yeah, but do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? I had to ask myself that, man. I've been through all kind of training, all kind of classes, all kind of stuff that I paid for, found for free, conversations. I have advisors around me. I have support staff around me that put their eyes on every IUL that I've sold. And so do you. So it's like, man, I'm passionate about this, dude, because it's like feel like I gotta protect a wonderful product, the image of it.
Mhm.
And the thing is, it's not the product. It's, man, I already said it. It's those who are designing them very poorly. And maybe I'm a little aggressive with it, more than maybe some other people have been on, YouTube or whatever else saying things. But it is what it is. Because I'm gonna talk about it the way we talk about it when the camera off. That's the real deal. It is, man. So let me ask you this, Craig. So for someone who is, say, regular working class person, maybe their mid 30s, 40s, an IUL is for them. And wait, let's give us people some possible strategies of how they can leverage that to just kind of starting their family, man. Maybe got some young kids or whatever. They got a little bit of disposable income. What would you suggest as one or two strategies that may fit them leveraging an IUL? What would you say?
Well, I'll give you an example for children. They work best when you're younger. Obviously, you're healthier, right?
Mhm.
You have more time for the policy to grow. Okay. And it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm looking at a policy right here that I'm working on for an 11-year-old child.
Okay.
The parent is looking to put in $3,000 a year, which is $250 a month. They're
Hmm.
going to pay this policy for 20 years. Okay. So $60,000
Hmm.
for an 11-year-old. When that 11-year-old gets to age 30, this policy will have grown to, and again, it's $60,000 put in. The cash value 20 years later will be $101,000 with a death benefit of $389,000.
Okay.
Now, let's just scroll that. And again, I'm a numbers guy. I can go crazy with this stuff.
Yeah.
Just going to pick some random ages. Age 50, the policy grows. Again, you put in $60,000. The policy has grown to an account value of $400,000 with a death benefit of $764,000. I'm going to fast forward to retirement. Age 65, that $60,000 has now grown to $1,128,000 with a death benefit of $1.3 million.
Okay. So what's the cash value at 65? One point what?
$1.1 million.
Okay. I'm gonna do a sidestep for a quick second. You're like $100 million for retirement. Here's a strategy with that. I'm giving an idea. Just an idea. Okay. That $1 million, you could take that $1 million and put it into an income annuity. And that income annuity I'm gonna do some loose numbers here, is on average going to pay around 120 to $123,000 a year for the lifetime of that individual. Not tax free, but $123,000 a year. Using that money and put it into like a fixed index annuity. Or you could take money out of the IUL itself, tax free, right? And we could design it to where you're taking out 50, 60, 70, 80,000, 90,000 a year or whatever, leaving it in the policy. So you got options,
You got
right?
plenty of options. You
You
can
got
use
options.
retirement planning, project funding, be your own bank.
You got all kind of stuff.
It's
Yeah,
like a Swiss Army knife, if you will.
exactly right, man. Yeah. And so what's really cool, man, is that I love it because the conversations I have with people who are entrepreneurs, businessmen and women who are doing their thing, and they're like, you know what, I got a lump sum of money. I need to get that thing working. I want to leverage an IUL. There's strategies for that. People like, I have contractors, some people who are in real estate investing, and other people that have those types of funds available to them and they want to put it somewhere to grow and have some tax advantage money available to them when they need it, it's liquid, et cetera, et cetera. So there's strategies that we implement for them, but you got to know what you're doing to put them in that particular space with that strategy. You know, how to take someone who has the resources and the willingness and the ability to drive like a race car driver.
Mhm.
The Mustang will work just fine.
It will be fine.
Okay. But then you have other individuals who are like, you know what? I don't have a need for speed. I got kids. Okay. I don't need for speed or whatever the reason is. It's like, I don't have a need for speed. I just need a pretty car. I want a pretty car. I need to get A to B. So, Mondo, Craig, what's the strategy for that? Well, Craig talked about it earlier. There's different things you can do. You could put some savings money in there. You could build legacy money. You can have some money building up to leverage while you're raising the baby, while you're raising your child, you know, paying for that sweet 16 party and vehicle or whatever, or college tuition or whatever, emergency money. I call it the oh crap fund.
That's right. That's right. You know?
Okay.
Or
So,
you can even use it for a death benefit. You may
oh,
be
yeah,
55 to 60, your term policies are about to end in 10 years. You say, you know what, I want to make sure that I still have my death benefit still continues. So
hmm
let me just put some money into an IUL, set it and forget it.
that's it,
I have no need to access that money at all, but I want to make sure that my death benefit does not run out.
bro. Legacy protection.
Mhm.
Making sure that your legacy financially is going on, like leaving a phenomenal one. We talked about that last week, right? Like you're gonna leave a legacy, right? So it's such a beautiful vehicle. Again, it's got to be designed the right way with the right mechanics, okay? With the right instruction. You have to have there's different manuals on how to use this car depending on who you are and your intent. You can't just give agents. You just can't give everybody the same manual and say, yeah, find your page. Just figure it out. You can't do that, man. Like, no, each person has their own playbook for how to drive this vehicle. And so, you know, so maybe it's a little kind of colleague accountability or encouragement or however you want to take it. If you're listening, it's like, who's this dude? Well, hey, man, from personal experience, we've seen it. Craig, remember, I've shown you a few where we've had clients that have come to us and they say, hey, you know what? I really like the IUL idea and I really liked it, but I have one already. It just doesn't seem to be what I thought it was gonna be. Oh, okay. Well, why is that? I don't know. Can you look at it for me? Sure. Well, we look at it and it's a hot mess. Hot mess. And now, what does that mean? Let me qualify that. It's a hot mess as it pertains to that person's goals and intent with this policy. That person,
Correct.
that person, not how it pertains to everybody who ever bought an IUL. No, to that individual, to their resources, their situation, their intent, their willingness to leverage it in whatever particular way, how they want to play the game. If it has to match, the design has to match that, right? So, you know, and here's the thing, man. Like, I love this conversation because this is something that burns in me, man. When I see a policy that is upside down, crazy, bad, I'm like, good God, man, this person is not helping the industry here. Like, so I don't know. I mean,
And to that point, Mondo, that person might have said, you know what, I wanted a high death benefit, right? But the death benefit is low and their cash accumulation, that's not what they wanted. Or some folks may say, I want to accumulate cash, but they have a high death benefit. So all of their cash, especially over the first 5 years, is going to pay down the cost of insurance.
right. But
That's
dude, there's all kind of ways you can get a higher death benefit. You could okay, let me give you something. This is going to maybe look a little hybrid. So if someone says that there are some products where you can actually put a term policy on top of the IUL. So if you want more of a higher death benefit, you can do that through term insurance on top of the IUL whole life policy. So there's a lot of creative ways. Or you could say the IULs for cash accumulation, but you know what, man? I really need a higher death benefit. Okay, let's look at an option. Let's look at adding a second policy that's a term. You have options. If they say, hey, I want a high death benefit and I want high cash accumulation, okay, then let's see what that looks like. Now, if that's affordable and makes sense for that client, then you move forward. But if not, you pivot, right? So I love how like there's no situation that's the same. Every client has their own little thing. It's like children, right? You don't raise every child the same. It's the same thing with clients and dealing with IULs. It's the same. So there's no cookie cutter. It's just there's basic guidelines. Basically, what I think is personal experience. Meet the client where they are. Okay, grab them by the hand, walk them along with educating them and providing insight, perspective, okay, and information on what's available to them, how they can leverage it, teach them how it works to the point to where, Craig, they should be able to communicate it back to you. And now I don't mean like what they have an insurance, license. I'm saying that they should be able to like explain it, how it works
Especially how it works for them. They should
for
be able
them.
to, I want
Right.
accumulation and I can see my policy is set up for that purpose.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I think that's a powerful approach is instead of saying, all right, cool. You want IUL, Craig? All right. Good to meet you, sir. You live in Maryland. It is. Okay, great. All right. Here's what I'm going to do. So how much you looking to invest in this thing? I don't know, $200. Okay, great. We're gonna look around 400. We'll do that, and then we're gonna put you get to make sure your family's taken care of, get you about maybe, $1 million worth of coverage, and we're gonna have this thing going. They're gonna pay the rest of your life now. We're gonna make sure that pay from 50 something up to age 120. And it's like, yo. It's like, what is going on? But when you see these policies that are written like that, it's like, I imagine that's what the conversation was.
Right. And I'd imagine it's a short conversation. I mean, they're just selling. They don't know about, your family history. They don't really know what your goals are. You just heard about an IUL and I want to, accumulate some cash. You've got to explain the entire situation. You've got to extract as much information out of them as you can to
Yeah.
properly structure the policy.
Now, I wasn't gonna go here, man,
Go
but
there.
I'm gonna go there today. I'm on one today. Okay, so um, okay, man, how can I break this down? So you want to make sure as a client, I want to help the client. I'm off the agents. I'll leave y'all alone for the rest of this time. I'll leave the agents alone. But as far as clients are concerned, if you're watching different videos outside of this one and you're saying, hey, I like the IUL because I could take loans out, or, I heard you don't have to pay it back and all this other stuff. If that is the reason you want an IUL, my respectful encouragement is to not get one.
Correct. Correct.
Those two features are a part of a complete puzzle
Mhm.
of things. You can't just take those two out. It's like, that's why I want it because I could take loans and I ain't got to pay it back. Let me get one of them. No, no. It's like, that's not, you don't need to get one.
I
Okay.
mean, just, conceptually, that sounds too good to be true, and it is.
Yeah.
You can't take out loans and not pay them back. That is true. But again, it goes back to what we talked about initially. They have to be properly structured, you know.
Well, and here's the thing though. Okay. Technically speaking, during their lifetime, you don't have to pay it back. Now, depending on the amount that you've taken out, it could hurt your policy, and possibly, depending if you've taken way too much out, it could lapse the policy.
Correct, correct.
But but the full story is you actually do pay it back. You know where I'm going? You actually are like, you do have to pay it back. It's called when you die. When you die, they're going to deduct what you've taken out in loans from the death benefit. So
Correct. And to that point, if you take money out, I mean, you're compromising your cash value because that money is going to come out of your death benefit. So consequently, you're compromising your death benefit as well.
Exactly. So the point is, like, you paying it back now or later? Which one? It's now or later, which made me want
May
candy all of a
not,
sudden.
that person may not have to pay it back, but their beneficiary.
Beneficiary will. Exactly. Out of the death benefit. That's right. So, so just to kind of help some of our people, you know what I'm saying? Like, just being real, it let's get the full understanding of how to leverage this tool. This is not a vehicle. I will say this for the record. This is not a vehicle on how you get over on the system. Okay. Why did I do my neck like that? I don't know why I did.
Oh, you did your neck and your
Why
face.
did I do my neck like that? So, but this is not a system or a vehicle. I'm sorry. This is not a vehicle of try to how to work the system or how to, I found a hack. And no, 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 no. This is a legitimate, authorized financial insurance vehicle that has been around for a while. Whole life has been around forever. IULs have been around for the last, what, 30 years ish. This is not something do you want to look at and say, "Ooh, I can get over. Ooh, I can get a hack. Ooh, I can." No, 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 no. This is not how to get around stuff.
Mhm.
It's how to leverage the IRS code 7702, 72E, 101A, the tax citations, TEFRA, TAMRA, and DEFRA. It's how to leverage the citations in these tax codes. Leverage. That's the conversation that the who's who is having. I have a part of my clientele. They have different conversations on how to leverage and how to flip and how to make more money and put that there, get some gains, making money while they're sleeping. They're playing chess with it. Okay. We don't want over here playing, we don't want to play, hood monopoly. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to do that with an IUL. We want to keep it legit. We want to look at, okay, how can I get to the place I've been wanting to go to for my, for my family, with my family, leveraging this vehicle. So, if anyone wants to know more about what I mean on that, definitely hit me up. I'd be glad to talk to you about it, chop it up, even debate. That's fine. But I wanted to address that, Craig, for obvious reasons, because we've seen that, haven't we? We've seen that, those kind of mindsets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then to your point, you're playing hood monopoly. That's just not going to work because their IUL policies are typically designed for long-term investment. And it's very important that you be able to maintain the policy over the long term, or it's
Yes.
not going to work at all how you
Yes.
play it out in
Exactly.
time,
That's
right?
exactly right, man. That's exactly right. What's the good stuff, Craig? The IUL conversation that got me all hot, man, and and a little steamy today, but it's all good, man. So great stuff, man. We will see you guys, all you guys next week when we get together, me and Coop, talk about more hot stuff on the Safe Money Playbook. Y'all be cool. Later.
Take it easy.